What's up, everybody? This is Harry Bernard Taylor with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. I'm with my man Christopher Burton,
People's Podcaster.
and we with our special guest, friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, Douglas. My man, Dougie
Dapper,
Fresh.
Dougie Fresh.
Yes, Dougie Fresh, my man. He's in the house. All right, first, man, we're going to talk about something that's going on in wrestling right now. I mean, something that's going on with a legend in wrestling. Pretty much legendary status. I mean, he's been around for a long time, and I definitely saw him before he got into the group that actually made him a legendary status. And pretty much he was getting there when he was over in WWE as Razor Ramon. But I did know him at Sky Hall when he first started in wrestling, and the various different things, different personalities, characters that he went through. So I definitely knew that. And then, like I said, he went up and finally got his big break, went to WWE and became Razor Ramon. And the rest is history, man. And come back to WCW, and he was in the crew. He was in the crew. Started the Outsiders with Nash and Hulk Hogan. Then they became the NWO. And, man, we know what all went down there. So, I mean, legend in the sport. And unfortunately, things have taken a turn for the worse, and all our prayers are with Sky Hall right now.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to talk about what happened?
Well, basically, man, I think earlier this month, late last month, he got admitted to the hospital for a broken hip. He was in there for a broken hip, having surgery and everything, getting that straightened out. And unfortunately, last night had some extreme complications and had 3 heart attacks. Wow. So he is now in intensive care. And like you said, Harry, this man has done a lot.
Yes.
From AWA to WWE Hall of Fame and everything in between, WCW, the NWO. I mean, he's done a lot.
Yes, he has.
And it's just crazy, man, because I'm like, okay, a broken hip, you have some surgery, get that patched up, we learn how to walk, strengthen your hip and everything, and you'll be back. You won't be like you once were, but you'll be back. But unfortunately, some complications happened, and he had 3 heart attacks. And as we know, Scott Hall has a lot of demons.
Yes,
a lot of drug abuse and abuse to his body and stuff. Where he would go to indie shows and he would just be literally coming through the curtain, had to be helped to the ring and then helped in the ring, and then literally just standing there and trying to have a match and drooling on himself because he's so out of it.
Oh man.
But he's gotten clean over that, help from the help of his friend DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and everything. He's gotten better. But unfortunately, like I said, he had this the hip issue. Now he's had 3 major heart attacks, and so hopefully, he'll kick out of this and be back to the Scott Hall that we all know and love.
Man, wow! I'll tell you what, Doug, you want to say anything about? You want to talk about this issue a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Scott Hall back from the WCW days, Diamond Stud, all that stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's been in it forever. I like the guy, and I don't know exactly, where he stands with DDP now, but I feel like maybe he fell off the wagon with DDP. Maybe if he gets back on, we can get some help and, get in shape again.
Well, actually, Doug, like I said, he's been clean since he's.
I don't mean that. Like, I don't doubt that, but I'm wondering just like general health wise.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know where he is as far as like general health wise, but I do know, like I said, DDP did help him, go through rehab and condition him and try to, did his form of detox and everything.
Yeah.
And he's been doing good, man. But like I said, then this happens, and so our prayers go out to him.
He was in that era, man. He just went the way of the buffalo like so many others. And I mean, look how many passed in their 50s.
Oh,
You know,
God.
he's already outliving the rest of them. So many
Yeah.
of my favorites are gone already. For
Yeah.
like drug abuse, steroids, all that stuff, man. I hope he makes it. I
Well,
Yeah.
I really do like the guy.
I
and you
tell you
got to
what, yo,
go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I was real shocked, and like I said, I didn't know it was a month ago that he actually had the surgery, Chris. I thought he just now broke his hip, and like I said, man, usually when somebody break their hip, man, it's I mean, things don't turn out good. Usually things don't turn out good, and then now he has these 3 major heart attacks. I mean, I just hope and pray, just hope and pray, like you already said, Chris, that he recovers from this and man gets back on the right track. I mean, it's going to be hard, and I mean, he is clean and all that, and man, hopefully the Lord above, man, sees it that this man is going to take care of himself and probably do some work for him. I mean, and do great things for the rest of his life. So I mean, we all hope and pray that happens, that the Lord takes care of him, and I mean, and Sky Hall gets back on track. So
Yeah.
man, this is just it's crazy. But I tell you what, Chris, I'm gonna let you and Doug continue to talk about this. I'm gonna have to head out, but you guys continue to talk about it, and you talk about Big E. And as far as a 3 count, Doug, if you want to talk about 3 counts, you can. I should be back on at the time. You and him, y'all talk about. Go ahead and talk about Sky Hall, talk a little bit about the career of Sky Hall and Big E, and I'll be back on in just a minute. Okay?
All right.
Just a little bit.
All right.
All right. Thanks. Later.
All right. Want to give a quick shout out. Cliff Renee, what's up, guys? What's happening, man? What's going on with you? Ron, what's going on, buddy? And Missy basically says, Missy, what's up? How you doing? He just got up there with age. It happens to the best of us. True. That is true. He does. I mean, he's, I want to say late 50s, early, maybe mid 60s, maybe somewhere in there. But yeah, and like you said, Doug, he was in that era, man, when them guys were living hard, man. They were literally riding that lightning boat, man, and riding and lit both ends of the candle. I mean,
Right.
because you gotta think back then, man, you literally on the road every day of the year, maybe except for 1 or 2 days, if even that. And then you got to think too, at that time and schedule, 2 times in 1 day, you might have to do a show. And you do that for 365 days out of the year. That's going to take a toll on you, man, especially if you even do it, let's say 5 years. Dude, that's going to, and after a while, yeah, you get used to the pain and the hurt and getting beat up. But sometimes you got to be like, okay, I just want to feel relaxed. I can't relax. And you popping pills and drinking and, just trying to zone out, man. And he was in that era when that was a thing to do.
Hardcore, man. I mean, it shows on his face. He looks older than he really is.
Oh God, yeah, man. Yeah. He does, man. And but like I said, that's what happened when you live that hard life, man. And you out there, and whew, I don't know if you have Peacock or not, Doug.
I do, yeah.
You do. Have you seen his documentary?
No.
Look at his documentary, watch it, and it basically gives you a rundown of his life and his career up until he got to the Hall of Fame. When he gets to the Hall of Fame, and then all that. But yeah, he was running hard, man. He's been through some stuff that you just wouldn't believe, man. Cliff, you just got to work. You on third, man? Oh, God bless you, man. God bless you if you're on third. I can't do it. You are a better man than me. I'm not built for third, man. I can't do it. But yeah,
hey, man, at least you can get on the podcast and watch at work. That's cool.
Exactly. Just to make sure you don't get caught by your boss and don't blame nothing on us. Yeah. So but yeah, man, it was it's a very informative documentary, man. He was on there actually talking about when he was bouncing at a club, I think in Florida, he said, where he basically got into an altercation with a guy, and it got crazy to the point where they was literally a gun came. So Scott is in his early 60s.
Sounds
Okay.
right.
Okay. Yeah. So, oh wow. All right. Whew. So yeah. Hope he like I said, I hope he gets better from this, man, because that's 3 heart attacks, man, and a broke hip. That's rough. That is rough. I couldn't even imagine having 1 heart attack.
Chris, did he have the heart attacks while he was under the surgery for the hip?
I don't think he did. I'm thinking he was actually out of surgery and probably trying to recoup,
Mhm.
and doing rehab or whatever was going on, and at some point had the heart attack during that process. Yeah, yeah. So who was this? Oh, William. Yeah, we are definitely not gonna forget about your show. Our buddy William Wallens, who runs his pro wrestling down in Packlet, South Carolina. Running the show on the 18th in Packlet. I think we put up the poster, William. I'm not sure, but I'll go double check. And if we haven't, I'll put it up because I do have the poster for that show. So I'll definitely do that. Ron says the broke hip, then the hip surgery occurred. He got blood clots in his legs, which traveled to his heart, causing the heart. Golly. That's rough, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Freaking blood clots, man. It's blood clots it's crazy because blood clots are so small, so minute, but can cause so much trouble.
I can speak to that. My brother, he was an officer in the Navy, and he was in decent health. These things can be hereditary. They could be a lot of things. They could be inactivity. He had a deep vein thrombosis, and it traveled up his carotid artery. He had a stroke, and I mean, he probably has like 20% of use of his right side. So, I mean, I could speak to how horrible that can, affect you. Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and for somebody that's so beloved like Scott Hall, man.
Yeah.
It's even like I say, even with all he's been through, his drug addictions and everything, and him coming clean now, and trying to do the right thing, trying to stay clean, trying to stay on the right path, and then unfortunately the broke hip happens, and now this.
I'll be honest. I remember seeing some commentary, some kind of DDP special, something like that. But he seemed like before he connected with Paige, that he was, sort of like almost bedridden, where he could barely walk and inactive. I wonder if that had anything to do with it, where he just wasn't being active.
Possibly. I mean, possibly. It could have been. I'm not sure because like I said, if you watch,
look what Ron said.
Well, according to what I'm reading, he had complications during the surgery that caused him. Oh, so it was during the surgery. It wasn't during the recuperate period. Okay. Oh wow. Oh, that
can happen.
Yeah, it can, man. Anything can happen while you're laying on that table. That is for sure. But yeah, like I said, if you get to watch his story, and what's so funny about his story, his recuperating story, I don't know if you have Amazon Prime Video or not, or YouTube or Netflix or something like that. There's the story about Jake the Snake Roberts, his recuperation.
Oh, I saw that. That's awesome.
Okay. Now, during that process, when DDP was working with Jake the Snake, that's when Scott Hall came in too.
Right.
So they show both of their, progressions and everything. And you saw how bad Jake was. When they showed Scott was way worse than Jake.
He got wheeled in on a wheelchair, if I'm not mistaken, on
at the airport, man. At the airport, he couldn't even walk. They had to wheel him in. I was like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, but he's come a long way, though. He's come a long way. I'm happy for his progress and everything. But we do hope that everything will be okay, and we pray that he makes it out of this. So let's see what Ron says here. Ron says he broke his hip in Texas, is what I remember hearing. but he lives in Marietta, Georgia. Yep, that's where he's at with the surgery and everything. So I guess that's where he moved for the surgery. Okay, yeah, Ron, I did hear that also that he's in Marietta, at a local medical facility down there in Marietta where he had the surgery and everything. That's what I was reading too, and everything. So yeah, and Cliff, yeah, it was a good documentary. But yeah, Doug, if you get a chance, check out on Peacock, Scott
I
Hall.
will. I love that stuff, man, and all the stuff that A&E is doing now on like biographies and all that. It's great stuff, man. I love it.
It gives you actual access to their life outside of wrestling. You know, it lets you know who they are as a person versus what we always see on TV, the character. You know, it lets you know these people, they do have a lot of celebrity about their lives. I get that, but it also lets you know what they go through, what their struggles are, you know, and how they either unfortunately succumbed to demons or overcame the demons that they have in their life. So yeah, that stuff is good, man. It's awesome. So like I said, we do hope and pray that Scott Hall does get better and recoup.
Amen.
Yeah, we definitely do hope for that because I don't want nothing to happen to Scott, man. That would hurt. That would hurt, definitely. It would hurt a lot. A lot of people were hurt from the wrestling community in that one.
Sad to say, but you almost expect it to be bad, to end bad. But yeah, we gotta
hope for the best. Hope and pray for the best.
Yeah, prayers up for Scott Hall.
Yes, definitely. Now, from the worst to the bad. We haven't quite got to the good yet. We're going from the worst to the bad. We're downsizing.
We're going in the right direction.
Yeah, we're going in the right direction. Friday night, I don't know if you saw it on SmackDown. Big E, he has a broke neck.
I didn't see that. No,
yes.
But, I like Big E too.
Yeah, they were doing a show. They were actually Friday night in Birmingham, Alabama. Ironically, this is what's so crazy. Birmingham, Alabama has one of the best sports medical facilities in the world. In Birmingham, Alabama. And unfortunately, Big E broke his neck. He was actually in a tag match with him and Kofi versus Sheamus, Rich Holland, and Pete Dunne. They came up from NXT, who has been now renamed as Butch. Why? I don't know. They should have just left it at Pete Dunne. It still works, but whatever. It's Vince we're talking about here.
Pete Dunne, man. You thought Pete Dunne, changed his name to Butch?
Yeah. It should have stayed the same, man. It should have stayed Pete Dunne, but like I said, we're talking about Vince here. So, you know. So, basically what happened, Rich Holland, Scott Hall were on the outside by the entrance side of the ring. They were fighting outside. Well, he goes for a overhead belly to belly on Big E. Unfortunately, how this works, if anybody doesn't understand, if you're giving somebody a move like that, you have to have full extension and rotation of your hips to make sure that person can get over. Then when they get over, they have to flip, tuck, and land for it to come out perfect. But unfortunately, Rich Holland did not get that full rotation and explosion from his hips to throw Big E properly. So what happens, Big E gets up over into the flip, but can't quite rotate because Rich didn't do his part to help him. And Big E lands on his head, spikes himself on the floor.
Man, that is horrible.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
Yeah, and Big E said in a couple of Twitter videos, I think it was his C3 or C2 and C6 vertebrae that got fractured.
Wow.
Yeah, so he like I said, he was just outside laying there. Kofi had to worry about to see, okay, something happened. Big E isn't moving. Obviously, this isn't planned. Talked to Sheamus. They finished the match. Sheamus and Rich Holland win. They actually had to cart Big E out during the commercial break after the match and everything. They carted him out. Took him to the hospital down in Birmingham and everything. And so yeah, he's in the hospital, got his neck brace on, but he's still in good spirits. Still, being Big E. Okay, so Ron said it was his. Okay, so it wasn't a C2, it was C1 and C6. Okay, they got fractured. Okay, thanks for that, Ron. Thanks. I knew it was C1 or 2 or something like that. It's one of them, but I knew C6 was in there.
Well,
so he's in good spirits, and so far from what we heard, no surgeries required. So far from what we hear, from what Big E has said. So yeah.
Anytime, man, I hear about a neck injury, man, it just takes me back to my childhood when Darryl Stingley for the New England Patriots when he got that neck injury, and is just pretty much paralyzed him from the neck down. So anytime, man, something like that happens, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And I mean, this is just, wow. It makes you afraid every time you see that move. Every time I see that move, now I'm gonna think about if somebody don't execute that properly, then somebody can get seriously hurt.
Yeah, and it takes both parties to make sure that move is, done right. It literally takes both parties.
Oh yeah, because these wrestlers, man, they putting their lives into each other's hands when it boils down to it.
Yes.
Because any little small mistake or whatever, it's injuries to your body. And it just impact to your body throughout your life. Because after you retire, man, you go through the rest of your life with that pound that you've taken. That's pretty much in football too, in any kind of contact sport. But in wrestling, man, it's very important that every single move, man, is calculated right and is executed right. That you take your time to make sure that you're doing everything. And I know if a lot of these things are fast. The impact of it. The intensity of it is very fast. They move very fast and very quick. But you got to make sure that you're doing it precisely because, man, these guys' hands, these guys' lives, man, and their livelihood is in each other's hands. So, man, that's just horrible. And once again, man, prayers to Big E and his family, and all his friends. Everybody who has to sit there and watch this and watch his, his recovery. And we hope that he has a speedy recovery because right now, no surgery, so everything looks good. He's a strong man. He's still young. So hopefully he can get in and, man, he can get back in there. But that's going to have to be a thought. He's going to be thinking about that from now on.
I'll tell you. He's a big chunk of meat, man. I didn't see the video. I didn't see the video footage, but even if you do get him up all the way and everything, just think about the velocity of that body heading down towards the ground on your neck.
Oh, yeah.
Just that alone. But let me ask you guys this. Because, I didn't see the footage or anything, but do you think Holland was to blame? Like, do you think he messed up? Or do you think it was just like oh, crap, I can't get him up over right? Like I don't have the strength.
Well, Rich Holland, he's a strong dude. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a strong guy.
He's a strong dude, even though he's not as wide as Big E, but he has that power.
Do you think he was negligent, though, is what I'm asking? Can you tell, really?
It could have been a fault of both of them, to tell you the truth. Because way Big E, the way he handles his body is handled. Usually people don't throw that move is throwing them over that backwards like that. They usually don't put that move. A lot of people can't put that move on Big E. But Rich Holland has that, and I'm sure that they practiced this a good bit before they actually did it. So
you got to be a Hulk, man, to belly to belly someone that big. Scott Steiner was expert at it, and Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
Those guys fit the bill.
Yeah, but like I said, though, in a move like that, it takes both people.
Yeah.
Yes, it
It
does.
takes both people because I mean, I can literally get you. I could take Harry or Doug. I can get y'all up, but to literally flip y'all over, y'all gonna have to help me. I
Yeah,
can get
yeah,
you
you
so
have
far,
to.
but to literally flip you over my head like that, even though I do my part, y'all gonna have to help me too. And
Yeah,
I knew Big E was like, okay, I know what to do. I know the maneuver, what we're getting ready to do,
I'm about to put
and I
you on.
know how to, go ahead and do my part. But I think what it was, Rich probably just didn't have enough explosion on his end to quite just really just get him over enough where he could land safely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking when I look at it.
Yeah, and then you look at the height. You look at the height of Big E. I mean,
He's not that tall. He's not that tall. Big E is really not that tall. I'm about 5'8", 5'7". Okay, so I'm about 5'7", 5'8". I've taken pictures next to Big E. Big E might be about 5'9", somewhere in that range, or maybe a little bit taller than me. So he's not that much taller than me, but he's just a massive guy.
Yeah, he's a fire plug, man.
Yeah, he's massive. So yeah, man, it definitely takes both guys to execute that move. There's actually a clip of it on YouTube that people just clipped out and just showed that particular part of the move and everything. I watched it this morning, but I really didn't truly look at it. But I'll go back and see if I can find another clip and actually watch it again, because I didn't actually see it on TV when it happened. But yeah. Yeah, prayers up to Big E, man. That's good Lord. Yeah, because I mean, even if he comes back, that's gonna be in the back of his mind, man. But like, it's like you're gonna have to almost change your whole style of wrestling to protect your neck.
Yeah.
Even though this ain't ballet, accidents will happen. Things happen all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we pray the best for Big E, man.
Ron, I hope that doesn't happen, man. I like Big E too, man. Jeez.
Yeah. I hope he can wrestle again, man. But like Big E even said so far, no surgery as of yet. So hopefully it's just little fix here and there, whatever it takes, but and he can probably about, I say, a couple of months or whatever, however long it takes for him to get back. But yeah, but
he might have to come back a brawler.
He might because he is, for a big guy, for a guy his size, he's almost a 300-pound guy.
Yeah. And Chris, last I'm sorry, I don't want to cut y'all off, but I'm gonna get off in a little while. We can go ahead and end this thing, and Doug, we can do 3 count tomorrow, and we'll have Chris come in and we'll do a couple of things. But let me go ahead and say this. Chris, what was you saying about his height? You said your height, and then you said
I'm about 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah,
Big E's got to be in that 5'9", maybe 5'10" range.
That's what I'm thinking.
Somewhere in there, because he's just a little bit taller than me. He's not that much taller than me.
And I can tell you this: a guy that size, the muscle mass that he has, and that short stature, he's gonna, even though, I mean, he's like he's between 280 and 300.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna seem a lot heavier than a guy that's probably around 350 pounds that's like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah,
because of his size, because of his height.
Low center of gravity.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, because you see him when he does a splash, like he love to do that running splash, like especially on a ring apron.
Yeah.
How he gets up, it takes him a while to get up and get that splash. So when he was picked up and he was taken back, like I say, he might not have had enough momentum himself to propel himself backwards and to land correctly. So it was so I believe it was both of them fault when it boils down to it, that the move was executed wrong.
Yeah.
Because if that was maybe Steiner's kid, I mean, who's very strong. I mean, he overpowered Holland in the match. He probably could have just tossed him over. I mean, that kid is powerful. I mean, somebody like Rick Steiner or somebody, Ron Simmons, could have just, boom, tossed him easy. But Rich Holland, he's a strong guy, but he's not as powerful as some of these wrestlers out here who can just pretty much execute the move perfectly. Let's see.
Ron says
The
the issue becomes his C1 and the fact that they don't perfectly heal from fractures. The
Yes.
important part of the C1 is the top part of your neck, at your head. The central nervous system is right there. It's normally a death sentence when it's broken. He's lucky to be alive.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of times, man, those neck injuries can kill you. I
Yeah.
mean,
And you got
neck,
like I said, man, you got 300 something pounds coming down on your head. Literally, he was on top of his head, and all that weight just coming down.
Yeah. He's definitely lucky to be alive, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was like me when I was in the ring, Harry. You
Yeah.
know how I was after that, man. I mean,
man.
If you were sitting right next to me, I couldn't do this right here for like almost a whole week or almost 3 weeks, man. I literally had to turn my whole body to look at you, man. If you were sitting literally right beside me, because I couldn't. Yeah, it's scary, man. Them neck injuries are scary.
I mean, we could be talking about death here. We could be talking about paralysis.
Yeah.
You know,
and then you have people out here, man. They'll see something like that and they'll say, "Oh, okay, it's fake," man. You know, like, hey, I mean that stuff is 100% legit, man. 100% legit. And I mean, he got hurt. I mean, things like that is just, it make this business is very tough, and that's why even the people that's on the indie scene need to get paid. You need to get paid. These guys need to get paid because they're putting their lives on the line, man. And I mean, just going there and going to get surgery and having to pay to get these things happening. And then you have wrestlers out here, man, that's working at Hardee's, man, that's working at Ingles and things like that, just bagging groceries. So I mean, everything as an athlete, man, whatever you can get the most you can get. Definitely.
Yeah. And Ron actually just messaged me a picture of the move in steel frame. And if you look at Rich Holland's body position, I'm going to post it in the group. If you look at Rich Holland's body position, how he was throwing Big E.
Yes.
He didn't get full explosion and extension at all. At all. And I'm gonna post it in the group, and it's like a steal. Thanks for that, Ron, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it in the group so y'all can see it, that this move was not executed properly at all. So
it wasn't.
So this may be all on Rich Holland.
Yeah. And Rich Holland, man, Rich Holland should have known. I mean, there's something that should pop in your head and say, okay, I can't get this big man over like this. So we're gonna have to
do something else.
We're gonna have to leave this. Was that yes, we're gonna have to do something different. We're gonna have to leave this and not try, because I can't fully get him to the position that he needs to be safe. And I mean, that's just it's crazy. So I mean, this right here will be, when it boils down to it, the main issue will be Rich Holland. So I mean, he should have known that he couldn't actually do it. But I mean, you get these egos, and then you get somebody to say, I can do this. An athlete, you're gonna have an ego. You're gonna have an ego that you're stronger than what you actually are. I mean, as far as benching, I remember when one time I was on the bench, man, and I had got up to like 285, got up to 295. I said I can do 315, so jumped it up there, man, and then boom, and that was weight started coming down on me. I didn't have a spotter at that time. So I mean, and that's when I was playing football. So you definitely have to, as an athlete, you have to say, okay, and when you have somebody, man, that you're working with, you actually have to stop and think, okay, I'm working with somebody and I need to be cautious. And that didn't happen in this case, I don't think.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, just general knowledge here, he could have saved his ego, tried the belly to belly, and then gone belly to back, and it would have been a lot safer.
Yes, that's true.
The odds would have been better. So I mean, he could still, get over on the move and, have a better chance at safety. Because, I mean, it sounds like he was fully committed and then just couldn't do it.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, I'm gonna continue to talk to you guys, but y'all won't see me. Y'all won't see my picture, but I'll continue to talk to you guys.
Okay.
But, all right, just a minute.
All right. So Now Ron says he doesn't think it's all on Holland. Wow. Okay. Now, like I said, this could be a serious debate because it definitely takes two people to make a move work, or any move, unless you're just that freakishly strong.
You know, I'm no expert. You know, I definitely want to see the footage. You know,
Yeah.
so I did a little bit of training in judo, you know, which is comparable to, you know, pro
Mhm.
wrestling. In
And
that,
y'all do a lot of throws and a
That's
lot of
it.
hip
That's
tosses
it.
and
So
all this stuff.
you know, you sort of get to understand,
Oh, baby.
you know, things like, you know, center of gravity and all that stuff. And
It's all-
I'd like to take a look at that because, you know, maybe I can tell, you know, percentage wise who was more at fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back. You know, I can go back to when I wrestled. I wrestled 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We actually had it in middle school in Greenville County at that time, Chris. And I remember, I mean, we didn't supposed to lift wrestlers. It was against the rules to lift wrestlers up above your shoulders. But I remember doing that. I took a couple wrestlers and I tossed them over my shoulders. I didn't get points taken away from it either. You know, referees looked at me and my coaches and all of them looked at me like, what are you doing? And, you know, and I slammed the guys, but I only did it to guys that I knew who I could do it to. Even though I was wrestling in certain weight classes, there were certain guys, like I said before, because of his size, his stature, his size, his base and all that, he's heavier. He's heavier than a guy who's even taller than him and maybe weighing the same size. So there were certain guys, man, that was the same size as I was as far as weight wise. I couldn't toss like that. So, and I agree with Ron too. I believe it's you know, well, Ron said it's on both of them, right? He thinks it's on both of them.
Yeah, because he said
I think
when the move was
too.
actually executed, he didn't see Big E to tuck his chin and try to rotate over.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that is a fault on Big E, because if you're in a move like that, it should harken in your head. Okay, I got to tuck, protect myself, and try to rotate the best I can to land some kind of way safely. But
Right.
if you know, Ron said he's going to get the clip, and he said when you watch the clip, he said it didn't even show that Big E even tried to rotate or tuck his chin. So
these guys are pros, man. You know, another thing he could have done is get him 75% of the way up on the belly to belly and then just spin over to your side. That's still just as impressive looking. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, or he could have did just a traditional belly to belly like Magnum TA used to do.
Right.
Back in the day, you know, just get them, just spin them over and boom, you know, versus over the head. Even though when you do somebody over the head, it does look more impressive and it does cause that ooh, you know, it does cause for that effect.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
In certain situations, that's not always needed.
It's not. It's
not. And I'll tell you what, Chris, I mean, gosh, man, I done lost my train of thought there, but I mean, yeah, Ridge Holland has to feel awful either way it goes, even if it wasn't all his fault. He has to feel awful about this, man, right now, and it's just wow, it's something that's gonna sit on his conscience, man. And even though like it's not all his fault, I really don't think it's all his fault. But some people out here will look at it that way.
Oh yeah. People gonna definitely blame Ridge Holland all day because he was the one giving the move.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be like, oh, it was Rich. He should have known better. That he probably couldn't execute that move fully and do it right. And blah 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 blah. It's all Rich. It's all Rich. You're gonna have those people that's gonna say that. I get it. I get it.
At the same time, you got to know your limitations.
That's
true. That's true. Yeah,
and
I saw the clip. I saw it, and I had to turn away from it. I turned away from it, man. I was like, this don't look good. And then I couldn't watch it again, and I just watched like the pictures of it. I watched the stills of it. I'm just like, man, this wasn't good. As soon as I saw it, as soon as I saw it happen. But I thought maybe Big E was going to get up from it, but I was like, man, this don't look good at all. So, but you know, I went immediately and saw we're on a few wrestling channels, a few podcasts where people was talking, man, on wrestling boards and things like that. And people was out here, and they was all blaming it. A lot of people was blaming it on Holland, man. They was blaming it on Holland. He came up too early, and you know, and you know, this guy. So now he's gonna get a reputation out here as a bad worker. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen among other wrestlers, but I'm pretty sure it will happen among some wrestlers, especially wrestlers that's not in that organization, that's not with WWE. There's going to be people out here, there's going to be wrestlers out here and stuff like that say, if I ever make it up, I don't want to ever work with Ridge Holland. He's a bad worker. He's hurting people. And,
he's unsafe. Yeah,
it's fair enough.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it is. But I mean, but like if it's both of them's fault, if Big E's at fault too with this, then I mean it's pretty much bad on him. But still, like if he had limitations and if he felt in practice or anything while they was going over this match, that man, that is hard to get you like that. That's hard to do. It's hard to do you. It's hard to execute this move against you. He should have said, you know, let's do something else. Let's not even do it, because we know they rehearse all the matches now. You know, it's not like back in the day when you called it in the ring and called it outside of the ring or wherever you was at. They rehearsed all the matches, so he probably went over this thing a few times with him. And Holland he should have said, you know, man, I can't just up and do you. I can't up and just throw you like that. And when it boils down to it, if he executed it a few times in practice, he probably got comfortable and said, yeah, he can throw me. He's a big, strong man. He can throw me like this. And probably relaxed a little. Who knows?
And what's so funny, Harry, that you talk about this? Because, okay, at their WWE live events, non-televised events that happen throughout the week, the ones that aren't on TV, the house shows, those are basically live practices for their actual TV shows and pay-per-views.
Okay.
Because they have more freedom to do and try stuff at a non-televised show than they would at a Raw, SmackDown, or pay-per-view. So I'm sure leading up until this match, all the week before and all through up until that point, all through the week or whatever, they probably ran that whole spot 1,000,000 times in different cities and be like, okay, let's try this. No, that don't work. Let's try this. That don't work. And you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So when they finally got comfortable with it, I'm sure they were like, okay, we've done this 7 or 8 times this week. We can do it. You know, I'm sure they agreed on it. Okay, we can do this. But like I said, unfortunately, accidents do happen. And this was just one of those times where it didn't work.
He might have blew his legs out from all the practice they did.
Yeah, who knows? But like I said, I'm pulling back the curtain. Like I said, I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit. But all the WWE live non-televised events, like I said, are basically live practice matches in front of a crowd for the Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views that are upcoming. And, you know, they're just basically, like I said, getting to try different things that they wouldn't be able to do on regular TV. You know, and they kind of compose like, okay, this worked, that didn't work, that worked, that didn't work, you know. And then when you come to the, you know, TV, you know, okay, we got an idea of what's going to happen in our match, and we're going to talk about it some more, and we understand what we can and can't do and what we're comfortable with and all this and all that. And like I said, it was just one of them freak things that it didn't happen.
Wow. Man.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said,
it's just sad, man.
Yeah, but I hope, like I said, Big E, just like Ron said, have a normal life after this and can get back to wrestling. You know, and just, you know, get back doing what he loves, man, and have a normal life, man. You know, just
yeah. Because I mean, you know, this man makes a lot of money. I mean, he makes a lot of money, and his wife does too. So I mean, hopefully he gets back to wrestling where he can make a. I mean, because like I say, he's still young, and I mean, he does have enough money to last him the rest of his life. But when you think about all the assets that he have and all that, I mean, does he have everything paid for? I mean, man, a lot of people look and they say, okay, well, somebody has to leave their sport or whatever. Oh, they done made all this money and stuff like that, but they don't realize these people, they could be, mortgaging their house, mortgaging cars, leasing, all kind of things, and something big like this can happen, and that can drain your bank account. And so, I mean, man, so I definitely, man, like I say, we all, everybody here at the Straight Up Wrestling Show, man, and I know all the fans are definitely behind Big E. We hope he have a full recovery, man, so he can come back and get to do what he loves. If not, man, there's a spot for him somewhere in wrestling. Definitely, because, this man definitely can talk, so he can come back, man. He can commentate. He can do a whole bunch of different things, man, to where he can make money in the sport again. So hopefully everything lands great for him, man.
I hope Vince takes care of him, too, and does right by him, man, because I'll tell you, got to appreciate the sacrifice.
Oh, good Lord, yeah, man, because it's definitely not like, I won't say like it used to be in the old days where they just run you. And then once you're done, they were like, okay, thank you for your service. Now go over here and just die.
Drop you like a hot potato, man.
Yeah, or just be like, okay, your time is up. Go over here and just die. Thank you. And just go on to the next big thing, They have evolved. I will say that. And Ron's right on that one. Yeah. Yeah, definitely on that. We all know the story about Drozdov. Yeah, Droz. Yeah, we all know the story about that. But yeah, so I'm sure Vince will take care of him if he isn't, God forbid, isn't able to come back. God forbid. I'm sure Vince will, take care of him and give him a spot in the company to do something, so where he can still be around the business he loves if he can't wrestle, which we hope he can come back and wrestle at some point.
At the very least, he could be a strength and conditioning coach.
There you go. There you go. Help out the guys down at NXT that's trying to come up. So, yeah.
Help make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen. And that there's contingency plans in place so this doesn't happen.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Yeah, Ryan, you're right. Vince is still taking care of Droz, even though Droz is in a wheelchair now, permanently. God, I hate it. But, yeah. So, like I said, it's just one of these freak accidents that happen, man. And we just hope the best for Big E and definitely Scott Hall, man. So, yeah.
I think at their heart, both those guys are real good eggs,
Oh, God, yes, man, yeah. Definitely.
Man, I appreciate you guys rocking tonight, man. You guys have been keeping this thing going. You guys look good together. Doug, man, yeah, we got to get together and do that 3 count. And plus, we have a show coming up that's been long overdue. That Doug asked me about right after we pretty much started this whole thing, and that was about who's the best black heavyweight champion or the best black wrestler of all time. And so Doug and I have talked about that, and that's something that Chris, Doug, and myself, and we hopefully we get another friend of ours in here on this, and we do that show. Let's try to do that show this week, guys.
It's Coco Beware, man. Coco Beware. That end debate right there is the Birdman, but no need to talk about no more.
We know that. When the Birdman come out, man, things was going down the Birdman's favor, so he's definitely number one.
Coco, yeah.
Yeah, Coco Beware, man. But yeah, definitely can't wait to do that show. But
yeah, and we got another show we're gonna actually got coming up here, the do's and don'ts of professional wrestling.
Yeah, the do's and don'ts of professional wrestling. You got Ron and you got Scott for this show, right?
Yeah, Ron and Ron the Saint is going to be a guest on the show, and Scott Lawson from #Truth, and Ron the Saint from TRWC.
Yeah, TRWC and the Wrestling Wire.
Look at Wrestling Wire, yeah.
So
I just want to make sure I got that right, Ryan.
Oh yeah, and Doug, if you're around, like I say, we'd probably bring you in on this too, man. So I mean, have you come in as a guest on parts of this. So I mean, the do's and don'ts of professional wrestling. Everybody that hears this, man, or if you're going back and replaying it, because I see we had some people on here tonight checking out this show, late night edition of the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Like Ron said earlier, and Scott said, you never know when the Straight Up Wrestling Show is going to show up. But tomorrow we will get to that show. And AWL, as far as AWL, I was going to do that tonight. But one thing, I've been trying to upload it and get this and trying to get it on here, but it has to be an MP4, and I couldn't get my thing converted in time to get it to MP4. So Chris and I, we didn't get to do that. So tomorrow, hopefully, we get to do that. What time is your schedule look like anyway, Chris? Tomorrow.
I'm open tomorrow. I'm good.
Okay. Chris is open tomorrow, but we will be doing that, and we will do 3 count pro wrestling, which Doug came, and this first time Doug. This is his 3rd indie show actually, and outstanding show. Doug loved it. I'm glad he did. So we will be doing that, and man, everybody out here, from what I've been hearing, I mean, you might hear a lot from Doug. I mean, you might hear Doug a good bit whenever I can get Doug on. Doug is a longtime friend, just like Chris. But, man, so we appreciate you guys chiming in tonight and, checking this whole thing out.
Before we go, like I said, we got it on our background. We're on 4 platforms. If you're on Facebook, like and share this video. And if you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for times like this when we come on and we have special guests, one of the fans. Like I said, you are a part of the show as much as we are. And we got a fan of our show on here today, Dapper Dougie Fresh. Yeah. And if you're on Twitter, yes, that's a new platform for us. Twitter, follow, share, and retweet on Twitter. And for our last platform, we're on Twitch. Twitch is somewhat similar to YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on Twitch. So yes, those are 4 platforms, but we have more in the works, and we'll talk about. Actually, we won't talk about it. We'll surprise you with what else we got up our sleeves. Even though I ain't got no sleeves on, we got some of our sleeves. Ain't that right, HBT?
Yeah, no doubt. So, man, but yeah, I mean, like Chris said, man, we have a lot of surprises in store, and I have a lot of other things that we're going to be doing. So I'll be talking about that with Chris. So we're going to have some other things we're going to be adding to the show, the Straight Up Wrestling Show. So a lot of surprises in store, a lot of different things that are coming down the pike within the next few weeks. So we definitely look forward to that. And, man, I mean, it's time for us to rev it up on certain things. And it's time for us to get our merchandise out there and, man, get to more shows. And Chris and I, we've started watching Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we will start commentating on that. So to add to some of the things we're doing, me and him, we're going to get back more to as far as doing the WWE and the AEW shows. And like I say, we're going to add those other 2 shows. So we're going to try to go back and do exactly what got us pretty much started. But we will stay with our indie as far as everything that we're doing on the indies. And we will get back into getting some of these guys on the shows, some of these wrestlers on the shows, and interviewing them. So, man, definitely, we got a lot. It's a lot that we have to do. And, man, so just stay tuned. Keep checking us out, because Straight Up Wrestling Show, man, this is a place where you're going to get the real, and we always going to be straight up.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, man. Whew, what a night. Like I said, we didn't quite get to cover everything we wanted to, but we covered 2 major points that happening in the wrestling world. Like I said, once again, I prayers for Scott Hall and Big E. And any other wrestler or anybody else in the business that may be going through anything that we don't know about. We're sending out prayers to you also. All right. Anything else you guys want to say? Doug, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
No, thanks for having me on. Enjoyed this.
Glad
Hey,
you were
we
able to
appreciate
make
it too, man. We definitely appreciate it. But, yeah, for my man Christopher Burton and Dougie Fresh, Dapper Dougie Fresh. I've always called him Dougie Fresh, but Dapper Dougie Fresh. We appreciate that checked us out tonight. And Chris and Doug, man, he definitely held it down while I had to get out in the car and get rolling. And you know, I chimed in as far as vocally, but we definitely appreciate you having the patience and still sticking with us. And we'll talk to you guys next time. And like I say, stay tuned for tomorrow because you know that notification bell will pop up and say the Straight Up Wrestling Show is on live. Because that's what we do. I mean, Chris and I, you never know when you're gonna hear. It's just like we just come up with things and we're like, hey, we need to talk about this on the show. And I mean, there's a lot of things that we talk about that you guys haven't heard. I mean, we talk about wrestling all the time, and I'm like, Chris, this needs to be on the show, man. This needs to be on the show. But we will be popping on tomorrow, and sometimes, man, you know, we're gonna incorporate some of these things. When Chris and I, we just out here walking, we just out here talking. So we will be just incorporating some of that stuff into the shows from now on because we have a lot of things to talk about. So just put it this way. Hopefully, we're long-winded. We got motor mouth. So we definitely appreciate you checking us out, man, and enjoying the show. And once again, you know, we're out of here. And if you're on Facebook, hit that like, join, share. You're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Twitter, man, retweet, man, check us out. On Twitch, you know what to do. Same thing as YouTube. And once again, we're out of here. See you. Peace.
Peace.